We are Dave, Carrie, and Rudel. In 2018, we set out to explore one adventure at a time. Join us as we continue our journey to find the best free camping.
This is great. I love it.
We want to take that road up that mountain.
It looks good to me.
I think we might be taking that road. This is a steep road.
Yeah, if it was loose gravel, there's no way we could go up this. This is too much of a grade.
Look at the view though. Wow.
Let's have a floor right
Are we gonna make it?
Come on. I turned the air conditioner off for just a few more horses.
Oh, I hope we don't meet any cars on this. Wow.
Stop because there's a car coming, and I just hope that we can get momentum and keep going.
Oh man.
And this it's at least a couple miles up, right?
If you don't get going, I don't know, jumping out.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on. Oh,
Go without spinning. Oh, we're doing it.
we're making it.
We're doing it. Woo. We've made it. We're about to get our first look at the lake. And this was a nail biter. Even Dave was nervous driving this.
Yeah, I was gripping the steering wheel about as tight as I could. But now we're dipping down into the lake, so now we're losing elevation real quick. And it's bumpy.
Slow going.
Oh, the lake's pretty. Today we are in Washington, and we are only about 5 or 6 miles as the crow flies away from Canada. We're about midway across the state, and this is Chopaka Lake, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. We do not have any internet right now, so if that's wrong, I apologize. Well, we got a great little spot here with lots of shade. and a few aspen trees, which are one of my favorites. I love the sound of the leaves when the wind starts blowing. And this is just a wonderful place to try to keep cool as this hot front moves through. My favorite part about this campsite is the beach. So we've got our own little private beach. Our chairs set up. The paddle board's out. So we hope to do some exploring of the lake and just around this area in general, and to keep cool as this warm front moves on in. And I think we're at the right place to do that. But first, Rule wants to play ball in the water, and he's calling me back to the van to get the ball. So it's Roodle time. It's time for a Roodle ball. It's time for a Roodle ball. You ready? Go get it.
He's got a traveling van and a master plan. He'll show you it all if you throw him his ball. He's Rudolph. He's Rudolph.
Yeah? Okay, ready? Go get it. Good boy. Good job, Rudolph. I want to take a little walk around and just show you a couple of the amenities. And anytime we camp at a free campground or relatively free campground, even the little things seem like a big deal. I'm like really excited about. And this campground is pretty remote, and it just, you would not think it had a water source, and it does. And it has the old well pump here, and it actually works. So that's something I would not expect it to be here. I didn't see it on any of the maps or the research that we did. And there it is. Our campsite is nestled down there in the trees, so we have plenty of shade for the hot summer. But some of these campsites don't, but they do have a shade shelter over the picnic tables. And I think that's pretty darn cool. I've seen these at a few camp spots. I think there's 3 or 4 of them right here. And here's the fire pit. And you'll notice that there's wood on top and a red rock. No one's probably going to burn that for the rest of the summer because of fire dangers. But it is nice to have that there. This campground is open all year around. There's something really unique about this campground here, and I'm going to show you right now. So as you can see, this is the loop for the campground that we're camped in, and it's owned and managed by the state of Washington. And then if you go right across here, across the cattle guard, instantly a loop starts on the BLM campground. So that'd be managed by the federal government, by the Bureau of Land Management, and it is public land also. So you can stay 10 days on the state land campground and then stay another 14 days on the federal land campground right next to it. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So let's go take a look at the BLM campground. This is the BLM campground, and this is the nicest site. It's right on the lake. It's got a picnic table. All the rest of the sites don't have a picnic table. They just have fire rings. So there's 8 sites here, and they're right on the edge of the lake, which is nice. They're not on the upper part of the loop. This one has a boat ramp. And there's a pit toilet here. and a little bit of additional parking for the boat into / hike into campsites. There's at least 4 of those. They're a little bit under a mile towards the north end of the lake. Really nice places to camp. Basically just rock fire rings. But you're right on the shore's edge. And it's very pretty up there. So if you want to be really far away from it all, just take the boat in campsites. But we're in prime season right now. And there's currently not a single person camping. And there is at least 30 camp spots between the 2 campgrounds right now. It's kind of unusual is that they made the camp spots really huge, or at least the parking area of the campsites are nice and long, where you could get a giant trailer in here. It's just that the road getting here probably won't allow those giant trailers. It's just too steep and rugged. We're coming up on a cattle guard, and I want to just show you how easily Rudel walks across them. He's been across so many of them, he doesn't really even think about it anymore. Easily done. I've decided to take a walk up a trail that goes into the wilderness study area that goes to the head of the lake here. And just at the head here, there's an area where you can hike into and camp. And I stopped for a minute to look at a currant that's growing. And an eagle took off from the top of this fir tree and swooped down towards the lake. And as I'm watching him, I could hear a loon in the distance, fairly close up. And a loon is probably my favorite bird sound that there is. And I wouldn't expect them up here in northern Washington, but it's quite the treat. Just all 1-2, it happened all so fast. So here's what the walk-in campsites look like. Probably only a mile hike in, and doesn't look like it gets much use, but it is beautiful. It'd be a great spot to camp. Bring a backpack full of your favorite snacks and set your tent up, and you wouldn't be bothered by anybody. And it's nice and shady. Even on a hot day, you'd have shade and you'd have the water to jump into and play around with. I don't see any fresh tracks on the ground at all. So not any use at all, at least this year so far. The other option would be just a boat in. Bring your boat full of all of your supplies and luxuries. That would be the easiest way to get here, and then just set up camp. That actually sounds like fun. I really hate to give up, but I'm just not going to be able to climb through all this brush. I'm not finding a clear trail or road to this lake. And even if I had a compass with me, and I still would probably turn around just because it's a super hot day. And I don't feel like bushwhacking that much. So I'm going to do the smart thing and head back to camp. Just scared a deer up. He's looking at me. I don't know if you can see his head or not. He's probably trying to take a daytime nap in a nice cool shade. She's looking back, so she might have a friend with her. By the time I get to the top of that hill, I bet she's gone. Hi, dear. Hello. I'm friend, not foe. Yeah, no need to run. I'm a friendly. And the question is, how am I gonna get back down to camp? Hoping there's a road or a trail. But they've been pretty scarce in this area. Look how glassy that water is right now. Just fantastic. Hi, Rudel, but I want to take you around over here and show off this bush. And like I always say, make sure you do your own research and don't take my word for it, especially if you're going to eat a wild edible. But this is a golden currant, also known as a buffalo currant. And you can see that it's just loaded down with berries right now. And they usually only get 7.5 feet tall, but this one's probably 9 feet tall. It's just enormous. It's a great example. I really like currants because, well, you don't hear much about them. And I think the reason why is they're not sweet, but they have a really great consistency to them. And depending on when you pick them or what kind of currant you get, they do have a hint of sweetness to them. You can do all kinds of things with them, make jams or jellies, or even make pies. You're going to be adding some sugar. But they're a great wild edible you don't hear much about. One thing about not having internet connection when you're camping is you don't know what the weather's doing, which for me is kind of fun and exciting. And now we got these cool little clouds forming. Last we checked the weather, like maybe 4 days ago, it looked like sunshine and hot weather. There you go, Rudel. But maybe we'll get a little rain. I think that would be really nice right now. Well, this cloudy day has been a really pleasant surprise after just 1 or 2 really hot days. This will be our second day here with a little bit of rain, which is really nice in the hot summer. And this one comes with a thunderstorm, and it's just moving over the hill. There's at least one eagle hanging around on the lake. And every time we hear them or see them, all these ducks out here just disappear. They all dive under the water and hide. So I'm guessing the eagle might be eating a few ducks along with this fish. The rain is feeling great. I didn't expect this at all. And it's just nice to be out here and experience it. It looks like it's raining pretty good to the north. Oh, he's liking that.
Oh, I got the spot. I got the spot.
That's
Rudel.
the spot, Rudel.
I got the spot. Yeah. Oh boy.
He's a happy dog.
Whoa. Wow, Rudel. That was a long spot. You happy boy?
He's a happy dog.
I paddled all the way to the end of the lake. The forest is much thicker up here. The pine smell is more intense. I wish you could smell it. Anyway, I just went out for a leisurely paddle. Didn't even bring my cameras, really. All I brought was a cell phone camera. Didn't bring Rudel. Just out to enjoy the day. And I'm on the new stand-up paddleboard, and I have to say, with the seat, it's pretty dang nice. It's like riding on a Cadillac on the lake. starting to rain a bit, so I guess we will start heading back. What a beautiful, peaceful, relaxing, perfect paddle. This location has turned out absolutely perfect to wait out the hot spell that's coming through Washington right now. We have shade in the morning and the afternoon. We have a nice breeze every day. And these last 2 days, when it's supposed to be really hot, we even have clouds and water to jump in. So Dave's out on the stand-up paddleboard with Rudel. I think he's really liking it. He's got the fishing bug, but this lake is fly fishing only, which he's not set up to do. And a 3-day out-of-state fishing license in Washington is something like $72. So that's not quite worth it. Good boy. Good boy.
All right, my favorite part about this is the lake and our own little private beach, and just how quiet it was the entire week we were here.
Yes, absolutely. All of that. It's super mellow here, and it is super quiet.
Yeah.
I will say that.
All right, so going right into what you need to know, and we're gonna start off just talking about the campground, which is a little bit different than normal, and then we're gonna drive the road out of here to the bottom of the hill, show you a little bit of that, and then talk about the road coming in, because it's a whole separate segment.
And the reason why we're doing that is because it's specific to us because of the PROMASTER, but everybody else will have a general set of rules.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the campground.
First of all, it has 18 sites. About half of those are right on the lake. They have their own little trail, their own little beach.
And then the second tier up that are not on the lakefront, they have shade canopies.
Yeah, picnic shelters.
So they made it nice for everybody who comes. Did you mention there are 2 campgrounds here? We're in the DNR campground, and right next door is the BLM campground.
Yes, so if you have your Discover Pass, you can stay here on the state side. If you don't, no worries, you could stay on the BLM side. Now the BLM side's a little more primitive. I believe there's 8 sites over there, and there's 4 boat into / hike into campsites as well.
Yeah.
So we're looking at 30 campsites total in this one small area, which is pretty amazing.
Now the DNR side of the campground has 2 pit toilets. It's much more well upkept. Yep. Somebody has been out. The tent spots the campsites are well defined. They're clean, they're mowed. The trees are manicured to a park-like setting, and it's just beautiful.
Yep. There is water here. It's a hand pump. We did filter it just because we weren't sure when the last time it was tested, but there's no sign saying it's not, but just to be safe.
I'm pretty sure they filter it because there's some kind of contraption over there in the ground. So it kind of tastes like it has some chemicals in it. So I'm pretty sure it's good, but just to be on the safe side, we filtered it as well. Now the BLM campground is, like Dave said, very primitive. I couldn't really tell where you would put a tent. It's more like you back a trailer or something in.
Yeah, tent sites were a little bit tough over there. There's no water on that side, but I mean, it's just a quarter-mile drive to this side where you can get water.
Yeah.
They do have pit toilets and fire pits. Only one of their campgrounds has tables. All the camp spots over here have tables.
And over there, it's pretty overgrown.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, what did we forget?
Internet connection.
None.
None. So, well, we did, if you want to hike for like a mile or a little bit less than that, you can have some internet if you have Verizon. I don't know
Yeah.
about other
So we
carriers.
were hiking, I'm gonna say a mile. We were hiking a mile up the road every night, and it's just enough of Verizon to send a text, check your emails, and on a good day, you might be able to get Google to search something for you.
Yeah.
So the lake behind us is pretty unique. This is one of 2 fly fishing only lakes in this county.
Yeah, there is special regulations here, so if you're planning on coming up to fish, make sure you check out the regulations first.
It's no motors.
Yeah, no motors, fly fishing only, fly fishing gear only. And there
And
could be additional regulations every year. So.
it looks like it's a limit of 1 trout, but again, that changes, so you'll want to not trust us and read the regulations.
This campground is at 2,900 feet elevation. It is open year round, but I would imagine with the snow that it'd be impossible to get up here.
Yeah, so I read that this lake freezes over and they ice fish here. But what's really unique about this campground is we're just under 3,000 feet and there are aspen trees here.
Yeah.
Which tells me it gets very, very cold in the winter. We're here in the middle of August.
49 degrees this morning.
Yes.
So that was a little bit of a surprise. It was great sleeping weather. And just for August, it's a little odd.
They were having record highs here last week with a low of 49 degrees. So it's gonna get very cold here.
All right, so I think we pretty much covered it. We love this campground. We definitely recommend it, but we're gonna hit the road right now, get to the bottom of the hill and do a small segment on how the road was getting in here, so you'll know what to expect.
Yes. You don't want to be surprised on this road.
Yes. All right, let's hit it.
All right, you see this road right behind us? This road is not an obstacle for the Jeep that just went up it.
Yeah.
But for the front wheel drive ProMaster that's heavy, this is an obstacle.
That's the problem, because the front tires are gonna wanna spin if I lose momentum. And so we're gonna make sure that there's no cars coming the other way.
Because right at the top of this is a pretty sharp corner. So if we were to meet a car right there, that would be bad news.
Yeah, we'd have to stop, and then we'd never be able to, we have to back all the way down the hill and let the car go past it and then go. So Carrie's gonna run up with radio, and she's gonna let me know if it's clear, and then I'm just gonna keep the momentum going up the hill. And this is the only obstacle really on the way out.
Yeah.
But
so there's the hill. Dave's at the bottom. You can't even see the van. And this is right where that tree is. Right there. He's gonna have pretty good momentum there, and that's where he does not want to stop. So I'm gonna walk up here, right up there to that cattle guard. I'll be able to see if there's any cars coming the other way and stop them. So we don't meet anybody on the hill. I'm also checking for any sharp, loose rocks that I can kick out of the way. All right, the coast is clear. Proceed.
okay, we're coming on up.
All right, here he comes. Doing good. Spinning a tiny bit. might think that we're going a little overboard on this road, but we don't want you to come all the way out here and not be able to make it to this lake, because we are only like 5 miles from the Canadian border, so we are way the heck up here.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, if you have a 4-wheel drive, off-road tires, you don't have to watch any further. You can go up this road to wherever you please.
Yeah, because it's not going to be a big deal for you. But
Yes.
if you are front wheel drive and you're heavy like we are, we weigh 8,600 pounds. Our wheels did spin going up this hill. So it definitely at our max capacity.
Yes. Now, from where we are now to the lake is 5.2 miles. This first mile is extremely steep. I would say it's a 10 or 15% grade.
Yeah, maybe 15.
And we did have a problem going up it. The problem is if you meet somebody coming down.
Yeah, then if you have to stop, you could be in trouble here. Now, if you have a rear wheel drive vehicle, you're gonna go up this hill no problem. But if you have a front wheel drive, that's where the challenge starts, especially on gravel roads.
Yeah. So the first mile is problematic, and the last 2 miles into the lake are problematic. You will need probably at least 5 inches of clearance.
I was gonna say 5 or 6 inches of clearance recommended.
There are potholes, there are large rocks. We recommend off-road tires, because street tires probably aren't going to survive the rocks.
Definitely to be safe, yeah. So I went,
and a little off-road experience would be helpful.
yeah, if you're thinking about pulling a trailer up here, I think the campsite's rated for a 20-foot trailer. So that is possible here.
It sure seems like it's pushing it. Now, I know you guys with these trailers, you have big, herky trucks with lots of horsepower. The problem is if you meet somebody on these steep inclines,
there's no place to pull over. So
or turn around.
Yeah, so you're gonna be stopping. There are a few narrow places on the road. Just to give you an example, we were at the campground for a week, and probably what I would think would be the busiest time of year. We didn't see one pull trailer in the campground.
So we love this destination. The lake was awesome, but we want to make sure that if you are thinking about coming here, you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yep.
We're gonna sit here for a while because our brakes are pretty dang hot.
Yeah, they're super hot. They're not smoking, but they're hot.
All right, so I think we're gonna end the video here. We hope you enjoyed this lake as much as we did, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. If you would like to support our channel, please consider becoming a patron, or check out our new merchandise at advantureatatime.com. We also have stickers available in our website store. Thank you for watching.